Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we're going to be talking about Sweetwater revealing the best-selling effects pedal in their entire history, so that we're talking 43-year history as well. So this isn't something where they were just selling stuff online. This is a combination of when they were selling it as a physical store, too, which I believe they're still a physical store. But let's go ahead and take a look here, and to me, this really isn't a surprise, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So JHS Pedals Josh Scott breaks down highlights from the gear retailer's 1,000 top-selling pedals of its 43-year history and builds the surprising stomp box that occupies the top spot. Since its established in 1979, Sweetwater has become one of the biggest guitar gear retailers on the planet, so it's fair to say it's something of an authority figure when it comes to all this things gear. Not only is it a destination where players can purchase electric guitars and guitar amps, it's also an emporium for effects pedals, and now its 1,000 best-selling stomp boxes of all time have been revealed. What's more, thanks to JHS Pedals Scott Josh, who claims to have hacked into Sweetwater's computer system, the company's top-selling pedal throughout its entire 43-year history has also been identified. Yeah, he definitely didn't hack into that, they just have data. Now 1,000 is a big list, so big, in fact, the video in which he showcases the pedals is over an hour and a half long, only has 510 pedals, which I think they show the video up here, yes. They do, so that might be a part 2 situation that he might do. It's probably best to cut that right down to the top 10 with some honorable mentions, unless you're really into guitar pedals and want to go through the whole thing. So what is the best-selling stomp box? Sweetwater's history: the Ibanez Tomb Screamer, Boss SD1, Proco Rat. If you guessed any of the above, you'd be wrong, because the pedal in question is, in fact, the Behringer ultra-affordable $29 SF300 Super Fuzz. So it's a Behringer pedal. This guy right here, I got it up. $29. Not a huge surprise to me. Maybe the type of pedal. I figure they do have a Tube Screamer clone, a vintage Tube Screamer. I thought maybe it would be that, but I'm not sure where that sits on the list. The irony is, Scott himself is partially responsible for the absolute insane amount of Behringer fuzz pedals Sweetwater has sold in recent years, owing to a YouTube video he posted in which he indirectly encourages millions of people to buy humble fuzz pedals. The irony of this commercial, Scott said, "I don't want to disclose the number. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's like more than double the other stuff." As Scott explains, the F300 is a clone of the Boss FZ2, which in turn is a copy of the Univox Super Fuzz, a $1,000 vintage fuzz that Behringer had an admirable job of copying. So those of you who don't know Univox High Flyer, made popular by Kurt Cobain. I actually have an old Univox amp as well. It's a Stage B and the Univox cabinet. They're hard to come by because they were cheaply made, and I'm assuming that Univox Super Fuzz was no different. It was something that was cheaply made back in the day, and then the company kind of went away, got bought out, something along those lines, and now everybody wants the stuff because famous artists have used them. That's typically how that goes. It's an impressive victory for the much-loved Fuzzbox, which edged out some stiff competition on its way to the top spot. For those unfamiliar with the SF350, it harnesses 60s and 70s fuzz era tones and does so through 3 different modes and an assortment of simple parameters. Below the Behringer, the top 10 is the majority utility pedals, including the Boss RC1 looper pedal, 2 different incarnations of the TC Electronic Ditto looper, and some undisclosed volume pedals. However, at number 8, to which Scott de facto awards a silver medal, is the Proco Rat. This shocked me, but in hindsight, it shouldn't have. Had been a Scott who had one of the first ever Proco Rat prototypes from his pedal museum on hand to show off. You continue to hear it on Coldplay, Parachutes, and A Rush of Blood to the Head, but you also hear it on Pink Floyd, you hear it in grunge records, on Nevermind by Nirvana, you hear it on Weezer, and Blur, Rem, John Scott filled as monstrously versatile distortion pedal. Yep, I can speak words. The top 10 was round off by an equal versatile effects pedal, the Crybaby Wah Pedal. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a Crybaby, which was preceded by the honorable mentions of the 12th place Boss DS1, 14th place Ibanez. Wow, Ibanez Tube Screamer's 14th place, but I mean, it's up there. You know, I definitely expect it to be in the top 20. A range of other highly popular pedals can be found throughout the rest of the top 52. At 47 is the MXR Carbon Copy Analog Delay, a pedal, as Scott notes, was the first affordable, easy-to-use, durable, accessible analog bucket brigade delay pedal of its kind. Other honorable mentions are the Earthquaker Devices Plumes, which sits number 40, as well as the OP Amp Electro Harmonix Big Muff. Yes, everybody just loves a Big Muff pedal, which is situated at top 36. Watch the video to learn all of Scott's findings. Visit Sweetwater to check out every pedal that gets mentioned in the featured length breakdown. That's a long thing, but definitely does not surprise me that this bad boy, a Behringer pedal, is number one. Number one, obviously, they are affordable. So if you are a beginner or intermediate and you are just getting into pedals, a lot of people do not want to spend that $100, plus range on a pedal. You can get a boutique pedal, typically $100. Even like an Ibanez Tube Screamer, I think, is right around $100. A lot of pedals are around $100. Let me see actually what an Ibanez 808 is going for these days, because I honestly do not know. Let's see. Let's get rid of the plug-in part. So let's see. Well, there's a vintage one for $179. Yeah, I think they're about $170 new by the looks of it. So definitely not cheap by any means. And a lot of people, when you spent $100 on your guitar, you do not want to spend $179 on a pedal. And let's see, this said it replicates the Univox. Let's see if we can find that. Boss FZ2. Let's see how expensive those are going for. Let's just go to shopping. Oh God, I hope that that's not accurate. $200 you're talking. Let's see if we can find a new one. Let's see here. Let's even just see out of curiosity. Let's see how terrible expensive this Univox. Yeah, this says $1,000 vintage pedal. So let's see here if we can find. If I do shopping. Oh yeah, it's there, and they're not kidding. You're talking minimum $500, $600. Even the Boss here, the F2. Which I'm guessing they don't make these anymore, by the looks of it, which is why they're so expensive. But even trying to buy one of these, you're talking, $300, which actually it looks like maybe here's an FZ1W, not the 2. That's another Boss fuzz pedal, but you're talking $200. So it definitely makes sense that a lot of people, if they're just getting started, you can get like a Squire package for like $150. So I can't see anybody that's paying that price range, paying $200 for a pedal when they spent less than that on their guitar and amp. But they'll spend $30 on a fuzz pedal. They'll spend $30, on a Behringer. And the reality of it is, it's the same chips. The majority of the Behringer chips, Behringer sells its parts to other companies, and those factories build them as well. Now, are other factories built better in quality than Behringer? Yeah, sure. I mean, Behringer uses plastic casing, which is more easily broken. But at the same time, if you're not gigging it and you're not beating the living crap out of it, it's a perfectly fine fuzz pedal that'll last for a pretty long time. Only Behringer I've ever had is the Vintage 2 Screamer, which it works. It worked, I should say. I think I threw it out. I got it for like $10 at a garage sale, and I broke the case. So I think I just ended up tossing it because I ended up getting something else. But it makes sense. It makes perfect sense that Behringer is number one, being that it's cheap. Because as I've stated it before, and I'll state it one last time in this video, a lot of guitarists are not willing to pay a large amount of money on pedals, especially if they're at the beginner level, and they've only got a couple $100 into a guitar and amp. They don't want to spend another couple $100 on one pedal. They can you can buy 2 or 3 Behringer pedals. You get your fuzz, get your delay or your reverb, your overdrive, whatever, if you will, and it only sets you back maybe $60-$90. Sometimes they have a sale, or you go used market, you can get these even cheaper. We can definitely see what these are going for on the used market. Well, but that'll be the last thing we do here. Let's see if we can find a used one. $24, $30, yeah, maybe not so much. Here's one for $20. But, I mean, yeah, you can definitely get a little bit of a deal if you go to eBay or something. You can even get them bundled with like patch cables, tuners, things along those lines. I mean, look, there's a whole lot. There's like couple different Behringer pedals in there for $130. Not a huge drop in the bucket for 5 pedals. But I mean, there you have it. That's what it is. Number one selling pedal on Sweetwater, maybe number one selling pedal of all time. We don't 100% have those facts yet because this is based strictly off of Sweetwater, but usually what's true for one company is true for others. You know, it's probably true for Guitar Center. It's probably true for Musician's Friend. Maybe local mom and pops. You know, probably Behringer website specifically, even though I think Amazon, eBay, you know, Reverb, if you will, whatever. All of those different websites. But there you have it. Sweetwater's number one selling pedal, a Behringer Super Buzz SF300. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.